Hey guys, it's Jay Games here, and today I'm going to revisit my cubic deck profile for you guys. This is all 100% cubics, and it's post Dark Side of Dimensions, so I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm going to make sure to explain everything to you guys. So yeah, for the first monster, I play 3 Duza. He's the newest cubic, and what he does is whenever he's normal or special summoned, you can send any cubic card from your deck to the graveyard, and whenever a monster on your side of the field would be destroyed. He gains 200 for each monster in your graveyard with different names. But it's really the first effect that is more important. It's the second effect that really doesn't matter as much. So you really just use him as a foolish burial for the deck. I also play 3 VJam, the Cubic Seed. VJam is the level 1/0/0. What he does is you can just set him and your opponent can keep swinging into him, triggering his effect to attach as a, I can't think of the word, equip card. And whenever that happens, VJM gives a counter to the monster that attacked, and any monster with a cubic counter can no longer attack. So it's nice. And VJM's other ability is after it gives the counter to the monster and goes to the spell zone, during your next standby phase, it comes back as a monster. So unless they can't get rid of it by card effect, then they're just kind of stuck. Or they can kaiju it. I mean, they can do a lot of things. 3 of the boss monster, or one of the boss monsters, Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord. He's a 3000 level 10. What he does is he requires 3 different cubics to summon, and he is unaffected by any monster effect with 3000 or less attack. And if he destroys a monster by battle, he can make a second attack, and then during each end phase of your turn, it's mandatory that both players take 3000 points of damage. So those are the 9 cards I would always say run 3 of. Now for the rest of the cubic engine, these are all just name targets for the Dark Cubic Lord, but I play 3 of Giria, Gil the Cubic King. This is basically just, essentially the rest of the cubics are all similar to cowboys. So what they do is this one says, send 1 cubic from your field to the graveyard, special summon it, it gains 800 attack, it deals 800 to your opponent, and then if it ever is involved in battle, send it to the graveyard, summon 1 VJam from the graveyard. I play 2 Vulcan. Vulcan is send 2, he gains 1600 attack, does 800, and if he, if he does damage, no, if this card battles, my bad, summon a VJam from graveyard. And what's important to note is if VJam gets it, if Giria gets his effect, he gets Vulcan, and if Vulcan gets his effect, he gets Endoria, which I play 2 of. Endoria is essentially one of the other boss monsters of the deck. Endoria makes it so you send 3, he goes to 2400. He doesn't have a burn effect, but if he's ever killed, he revives 3 cubics in your graveyard, and you search 1 from your deck to your hand. And then for the other line, I play 3 Dark Garnix. Garnix is essentially the Garia. Pay 1, he gets 1000. If he's destroyed, you get VJam back. And then he goes into Blade. Blade is 2. He goes to 1600. Burns for 800. Which turns into Behemoth, which is your counterpart for Endoria. So that's the whole cubic engine. 23 cubics, and the last monster I play is 1 Card Trooper, just because I want to get rid of cards from this deck so I don't brick as hard, because with 23 cubics, I want to see Duza more. And then for spells, there's only 5, and that's 3 Karmas and 2 Waves. So what Karma does is, let's say I have Duza on board. I can send all of VJam cubic seeds to my graveyard, and Duza would get plus 800 for each, so he'd get plus 2400, making him a 4000 attack monster. And the nice thing about Karma is Karma makes it so even if Karma leaves the board, the boost is still there. The second effect of Karma is if it's on field and you summon a VJM seed, you can send it to grave and cut your opponent's life in half. And the third effect is if it's in graveyard, banish it, and you can search your deck for any cubic monster. And then Cubic Wave is probably one of the, you only need to play 2 because 3 is a little overkill cards. What it does is you target one cubic monster you control and one monster your opponent controls. Your monster doubles in strength, theirs gets cut in half. And then its in-grave effect is if you banish it, you banish any number of cubics in your graveyard. So you can banish 5 if your opponent has 5 monsters. They all get cubic counters, so they automatically can't attack anymore. And that's it. I mean, it's an overkill card if you run 3. I just don't think running more than 2 is what you should do. For traps, I play 3 Cubic Rebirth. Rebirth is the only cubic spell and trap that does not have a banish effect from grave. So what it does is you set it. If you're attacked directly, you can activate it. And if I was going against Blue Eyes, I can say, okay, summon all Blue Eyes you have from hand, deck, or grave. And they would all get counters, go to 0 attack, lose all effects, and I can summon as many cubics from my hand, level 4 below, to my field, ignoring summoning conditions. 2 Unification of the Cubic Lords. This is the polymerization of the deck, but it also combos with Duza, because what you essentially do is you summon Duza, you send this to grave, and you banish it to use its ability to summon another cubic from deck, which you would just get another Duza, repeat the process, and you can make like a rank 4 play, a synchro, whatever you want to make the deck go for. Then for staples, Call the Haunted at 3, Mirror Force at 2, and then 1 Divine Wrath, because I don't really want to go into those bad matchups where effects are just going to start popping stuff. And then it's never made, but because it's 100% pure cubic, 3 Crimson Nova Trinity the Dark Cubic Lord. He is the hardest fusion I know of that is possible to make, because he requires 3 of the Crimson Nova the Dark Cubic Lord. So essentially you have to have the fusion card and you have to have your playset of him. And it's worth it because of his effect, because what his effect is you swing, you cut your opponent's life in half. If it kills a monster, you get to attack again, which triggers the first effect again, so you cut their life in half again. Plus, if your opponent does any type of battle damage, like from Cowboy, so any effect damage, they take it instead of you. And then it also can't be targeted, destroyed by any type of card effects. So the only way to kill it is by battle. So just don't have this out against Light Sworns and you'll be fine, because with Honest, it's not fun. So that's my cubic deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed, and there will be a cubic deck profile that is updated with X seeds and all that soon. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.